Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Humble Readiness and Outdoors. I'm John, and I love to eat, if you couldn't tell by looking at me. I don't just like to eat like we have to, I enjoy eating when I'm out on trail enjoying the outdoors. It also, coincidentally, works good for emergency and readiness scenarios too. And since the channel is readiness and outdoors, this is one topic that works for both needs. So we're going to talk about freeze-dried food. There are a lot of them up here. Most of them I've tried. There's a couple I haven't yet, but will. Some I even actually just bought yesterday. I bought them at Quest Outdoors in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville's where we are. We're filming this in the Next Level Ranges Members Lounge, and we're thankful to be here. It's a beautiful place. When I'm picking my meals, it's easy to let taste and flavor be the primary driving factor. One of the things that I used to neglect was the weight to calorie or weight to protein ratios. I want to have a lot of protein. This helps me perform better, feel fuller longer, and snack less. It also just gives me the energy that I need to work on trail or in an emergency or disaster scenario, keep clearing up the rubble or repairing the house or defending myself, whatever the situation might be. So I want a good calorie to weight ratio anytime I'm carrying or storing it. So let's do a walk and talk and let me show you some things that have a really good and not so good calorie to weight ratio. And if you hang around, I'll show you how to save a lot of money on it. The first thing I want to show is why freeze-dried and dehydrated meals are so good. These are pretty much freeze-dried when you're buying them commercially. That's how they come. Dehydrated, you often do at home, and they don't tend to last as long. But freeze drying is probably the best way to get long-term shelf life, not just measured by months or years, but often by decades. When you don't do that and you have it non-freeze dried, but it's in a liquid form, you get things like this. This is the hearty bison stew by Essential Provisions, their field fuel. 370 calories, 43 grams of protein. That may sound good, but to me, it's not. 370 calories, that's a snack to me. If I'm really trying to get a lot done, that's not going to go well. You can eat it right out of the pouch. You can heat it in the pouch. There's where the positives end. It doesn't require water because you're carrying that weight. It weighs, with the packaging, 12.3 ounces for this. This gives me a ratio of 30.1 calories per ounce carried, and that's unacceptable. Let's move over to the next closest. This is the worst, actually, of all the dehydrated meals that I have. This is the Backpacker Pantry risotto with chicken. It weighs, with packaging, 5.9 ounces and has 90 calories per ounce. That's still not a lot. We can do better. The gold standard, or the cutoff for me, is 100 calories per ounce. I do like the risotto with chicken. Creamy Italian style rice, white meat, chicken, and Parmesan dish. It tastes wonderful. But when I'm counting the ounces to make sure I'm getting the most I can for what I carry, this gets nixed. Also getting nixed is my old favorite. Back in my scouting days, that Mountain House chicken teriyaki, 92 calories per ounce. The chicken teriyaki with rice by Peak Refuel, and Peak is supposed to be one of the really good ones, and they're kind of scattered throughout the spectrum here. That's 95 calories per ounce. Then over here we have, this is the Alpine Air grilled chicken quattro formaggi pasta. I really like this one. This one is exactly 100 calories per ounce. I've taught readiness and survival classes here to people on bug out bags and in-home emergency preparedness, and I'll mix up several of these for people. No complaints yet. It tastes wonderful. So this to me is the minimum. Let me show you some more. Let's look at some good mid-tier options. Nothing wrong with any of them, and you're allowed to get whatever you want, but this is where my minimum starts. The bar is at least this for me. There are choices here by Backpacker's Pantry, Mountain House. I've got several Peak Refuels. We've got Next Mile Meals. These are great keto options. Pinnacle Foods, an excellent choice. They are expensive. These run me about $18 a piece. I haven't tried them yet. I didn't know they existed until yesterday. This is Bowl and Kettle, and just recently started buying Bighorn, but I'm hearing good things. So you can get whatever you want, but just for some calorie to ounce comparisons, this fettuccine alfredo by Mountain House is 113. the pinnacle over here with roasted chicken, white cheddar, biscuit dumplings, 120 calories per ounce. We can still do better. Here's a Peak Refuel venison country casserole. This one has 128 per ounce. Another Peak here. Let's just keep moving down the line. 132 calories per ounce. The one I just knocked over here, 130 with ranch style chicken. Let's keep on going down. Here we've got another Peak. Excuse me, this one's a Pinnacle. This one's 140 calories per ounce. And then I want you to look over here. If you don't see a trend setting here, let me lay it out for you. This is Foundation Outdoors. And typically speaking, they have the best calorie to weight ratio as well as other macros in the industry. Let me get into some more details on them. We're now focusing on Foundation Outdoors. Guys, I don't get anything from them except occasionally they'll donate a meal to a class so that people can try it, or a 30% discount code that I can use. And when I am now buying, I prefer to buy Foundation. But the really cool thing, because they care about you all too, they're letting me share that 30% discount code with you. And that's going to be in the description down below. And if you hang on a minute, I'll tell you how to turn that 30% into a 45%, which is really cool and makes certainly, they're probably, I haven't done the math, but going to be the best calories per penny that you can get as well. So starting over here, remember our competitors were in the 130s at the closest. This one jumps up to 156, and this is the lime chicken with avocado mango salsa. Up next, we have the lasagna, 174 calories per ounce. Chicken pot pie, 192. Can you guess where we're headed? We're headed to a new first digit. Over here we have chicken pasta primavera, 186 calories per ounce. Over here is the Rise and Shine, and it's the first one to cross the barrier at over 200 calories per ounce at 203 calories per ounce. Over here we have the Foundation Outdoors spaghetti with meat sauce, 217 calories per ounce. This is the Italian sausage risotto at 219. Over here's the biscuit and gravy at 225. And finally, the pasta Alfredo, 257 calories per ounce of weight carried. That's 2.5 times as much as many of what the competitors put on the market. What else about Foundation do you need to know? You eat it in the pouch. That means you don't need to store water to clean a plate and spoon. You can have, a plastic spoon and this bag, and you have everything you need. It doesn't take much water. These typically are 10 ounces of water to prepare a Foundation meal. So all you have to do is add that boiling water to the pouch. No simmering time required. We just put up another video of how much water it takes to have the big food buckets cooked, and you're burning so much more fuel to simmer a lot of those meals. These, add the boiling water, and then you're done. They have gluten-free options. They have vegetarian options. Neither of those apply to me. I like meat in my meals, and they have a lot of those. And the spaghetti with meat sauce and lasagna are order at a restaurant level good. As well as they thought kind of ahead on this. A lot of backpackers and day hikers don't want to carry a stove. They all have the ability to be cold soaked, meaning double the time you can pour cold water in there. If it takes 10 minutes, then give it 20, and it will fully rehydrate and reconstitute the food. It won't have the same smell or flavor or warmth that you get from heating up a normal meal, but it is a good survival option if you're trying to save weight on trail or just not use up fuel when you don't have a lot stored. Additionally, they have some of the cleanest ingredients of all of them, and you can taste that when you're eating them as well. Here soon, we're going to have an event here where I'm going to bring out several ones and just let a mass group of people try. I'll probably tally up what did people like the most, and so far I haven't had any complaints. They tend to be very good. One other thing that they thought ahead on really well, if you compare this to, let me grab another. First one I came to, here's a Peak Refuel. The beef stroganoff by Peak, I do like this, tastes wonderful. Look at the height of the bag difference. By the time you tear here versus tear here, you're getting closer to the bottom of the bag, and it's more bowl shaped than the Peak. Same with the Backpacker's Pantry and the Mountain House. They tend to be tall like this. This has more of a bowl shape. This means the water and the ingredients that are reconstituting hang near the bottom better and reconstitute better. I get less crunchy, uncooked stuff every time I make one of the Foundation outdoor meals than I do the competitors. Still good food, just requires a little more attention. Maybe add more water and give it more time. To peak, you can pretty well follow the directions and have a better product in the long run. The final thing about these, they have the 20-year shelf life. Currently, a lot of the ones that are out there already are only marked for 10 years just because as they were getting started, that's what I think it was FDA gave them the approval for. I just talked with them the other day before I made this video to make sure they were okay with it, and they said that they are soon all going to have the 20-year stamp. And that puts them absolutely on par for long-term food storage and survival needs with many of the big manufacturers out there. A lot of the other freeze-drieds out there have a 5 or sometimes less than 3-year shelf life. I don't give them the opportunity to sit that long on a shelf most of the time because I like them that much. Sometimes going on that day hike or that overnight is the excuse to eat some of this food. So there's what I have to tell you about them. Again, they give me a few meals to show off to other folks and kind of demo within classes, and I enjoy eating them too. I have bought the majority with my own money. Show you the receipt if you wanted. They don't do anything for me right now other than discount the food for me, and they give me 30% off. But they allow me to share that 30% discount code with you, and that's going to be in the description below. And as promised, you can increase that. How? If you go onto their website and you buy a 6 or 12 pack of the same thing, you click on it, and you can either hit add to cart or options. If you buy a bigger bulk of the same meals, say, I want to be set for camping or survival, and I'm going to buy a week's supply of each and then combine them later, it will take off 10 or 15% more, and then my discount code compounds on that. So you can get 45% off of these. What I would do, say, hey, this is getting into hiking season, or I want to be prepared for 1 or 2 or 3 weeks for my family, and that's going to be a pretty good start. Buy in the bulk, and that's going to let you get a whole lot more. If you just want to try them out, nothing wrong with ordering a single meal. As of today, shipping is free after $75 on their website. I can promise you that you're going to like it. You're really going to enjoy. So give them a try. Thanks for joining us at Humble Readiness and Outdoors. If any of this was helpful to you, like we hope it was, we appreciate you letting us know. Tell us in the comments, including what we can do to improve. We do approach things humbly, and that tells us what we need to improve on. Nothing lets us know that we did something right, like you giving us a like, share, or subscribe. If we haven't earned it, then we'll keep working harder for you for next time. I hope you found it helpful and useful. Please save money as best you can. I know it's not easy to come by these days. And until we see you on the next video, thank you for joining. I'm John. Stay humble.